Students, today we will discuss chapter 9. The topic we have to discuss here is theories of reality. In connection with the theories of reality, we will discuss three theories: pluralism, dualism, and monism. Now today I would like to start discussion from the topic pluralism. Now let us see. We all know that what is philosophy. Philosophy is the love of wisdom. You all have the knowledge of this definition. Philosophy is the study of the general fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, matter, existence of God, existence of soul, existence of this world and the universe, etc., etc. We discussed. And the philosophical methods include questioning, critical discussion, rational argument, and systematic presentation. These are the tasks we find in philosophy. Then another main task of philosophy is to define what reality is. So, to understand the reality, to define the reality, as I mentioned you earlier in this class today, we will discuss three theories: pluralism, dualism, and monism. And out of these theories, we will discuss first pluralism. Now let us see, what is pluralism then? Pluralism stands for the philosophical theory which lays stress on multiplicity and variety. Basis on multiplicity and variety. And the stress is given to this multiplicity and variety. Pluralism is the antithesis of monism. And now let us see what is the difference between monism and pluralism. Monism starts from one and derives many from it. And pluralism starts from many and derives unity from pluralities. Then what is universe according to the concept of the pluralism? Let us see. According to pluralism, the universe is a mechanical aggregate of a plurality of self-existent independent entities. This is a definition of what is this universe according to pluralism. And pluralism has two forms: materialistic and spiritualistic. Atomism is the materialistic pluralism and monadism is the spiritualistic pluralism. Like this, in connection with pluralism, we will have two forms. One is atomism and another one is monadism. Now let us see what is atomism then. The Greek philosopher DEMOCRITUS is the father of atomism, and according to Democritus, according to the Greek philosopher Democritus, what we find is that he conceived of the world as the composition of, is composed of material world, is a composition of the material world. So the material atoms, as the composition of the material atoms. What kind of material atoms? The atoms which are endowed with perpetual motion, without which it can't exist. They can't exist. So motion is the essence of the atoms. Everything in this world has developed, has evolved from these atoms, and even life in the mind, say life, our mind, are composed of atoms. According to the atomism, what we see is that even the world was not created by God. We believe, and in religious books, in different religions, we find that this world, this universe, life is created by God. But according to atomism, what we find is that, which is far different from the concept what we believe. What we see is that even our life and mind are composed of atoms, and according to the atomism, the world is not created by God. The atoms are eternal and always in motion, and they are the cause of this world. This world is a composition of the atoms. The atoms, what kind of atoms? Which are perpetual in motion. And the atoms combined according to the laws of nature, and their combination accounts for the world. This is what we find in connection with the concept of the Greek philosopher Democritus. Then, now let us see another atomist, Epicurus. Epicurus is also a Greek philosopher. He is also an atomist, and according to him, the world is neither created nor destroyed. What we see is that nobody can create this world, and nobody can destroy this world. This world is composed of atoms, and which are moving in empty space. These atoms are moving in empty space, and the soul is material and composed of exceedingly fine matter. What we know, one point here is that the soul, our soul, the soul is material. The soul is material and composed of exceedingly fine matter. It is destroyed with the body. Even we know from this, according to the Epicurus, what we find is that the soul is material, and the soul is composed of atoms, exceedingly fine matters. Then from these two philosophers of atomism, what we know is that this world is composed of atoms, which are in perpetual motion. And another Roman poet, let us see, Another Roman poet, Lucretius, he also adopted the atomistic materialism of Democritus and Epicurus. He also adopted the concept of Democritus and the concept of the Epicurus. I know I have given you the description who is Lucretius. Lucretius is a Roman poet. Then let us see, how did Lucretius explain this world and the whole universe? Epicurus explained the world by atoms moving in empty space. He also explained this world by atoms. It means that, what it means is that he also accepts that this world is composed of material atoms. The whole universe is a conglomeration of material atoms, and this world or this universe is not created by God. And observing these concepts of the philosophers of the atomism, what we see is that Greek atomism is atheistic. You know what is atheistic? Atheistic means disbelieving in the existence of God or lacking belief in the existence of God. This is the meaning of the atheistic. So atomism, Greek atomism, is to be considered as atheistic because of their observation, because of their analysis of this universe and world. Now this is what we find from the atomism in connection with the pluralism. Let us see the summary of the pluralism, what we discussed in the class today. Now you will find here three philosophers, Democritus, Epicurus and Lucretius. Now let me show the pictures of the three philosophers before I give you the summary of today's class. The first one is Democritus. Now here you see the picture of Democritus, and the next one is Epicurus. They are the philosophers of atomism, of pluralism, and the next one is Lucretius. He is a Roman poet. Now we have seen, you have heard the names of these three philosophers. Now let us see what is pluralism. Pluralism stands for the philosophical theory which lays stress on multiplicity and variety. It is the antithesis of monism. As I have explained you, we have seen this one. And there are two divisions, materialistic and spiritualistic. Two divisions of pluralism. And atomistic is the materialistic pluralism, and monadism is the spiritualistic pluralism. Now according to the Democritus, how does he describe the world, mind and life? Now we have seen the Greek philosopher Democritus concept of the world as composed of material atoms which are endowed with perpetual motions. These atoms are in perpetual motion, and motion is the essence of atoms. Everything in this world was evolved from these atoms. Even life and mind are composed of atoms. Then now let us see view of Epicurus. According to Epicurus, who is also a Greek philosopher, the world is neither created nor destroyed. As we have seen, According to his explanation, what we see is that nobody can destroy and nobody can create this world. The soul is material and composed of exceedingly fine matter. It is destroyed with the body. It is destroyed with body and nothing can be destroyed. Then let us see the view of Lucretius. You know that Lucretius is a poet, a Roman poet, and he adopted the atomistic materialism of Democritus and Epicurus. And the whole universe is a conglomeration of the material atoms. And seeing the view of the atomism, it is found that Greek atomism is atheistic. And these are some of the points we find from a discussion of the pluralism, atomistic pluralism, the pluralism of atomism we discussed. We find these points. Now, in connection with this topic, now that we can see these some questions. The question number 1, what is pluralism? For question mark 4, 2 or 4 marks, we can ask. And what is the difference between pluralism and monism? You have to know this. And what is the universe according to pluralism for 2 marks? And what is this world according to Democritus? 1 mark. And what is the essence of atoms? 1 mark. You know that essence of atoms, motion is the essence of atoms. And what are life and mind according to atomism? 1 mark. You know that life and mind, they are all the composition of material atoms. What is the cause of this world according to atomism? 1 mark. How does Epicurus define world? 1 mark. And how does Epicurus define soul? 1 mark. And who is Lucretius? 1 mark. And how did Lucretius explain the world? 1 mark. And how did Lucretius define the world and the whole universe? for 2 marks. And this pluralism also may come for essay type questions for 8 marks, like this: define pluralism as a theory of reality. Now, like this, we may discuss these questions, and we can prepare these questions for the purpose of examinations. Now, let us finish here for today.